There are two types of software installed on every computer: system software and application software. In order to understand the system software, let us have a look at the computer system as a whole with all its possible components. In order for this computer system to work properly, these components must be connected to each other in a proper logical sequence at two levels: hardware level and the software level. At the hardware level, this connection is achieved via their corresponding cables. And at the software level, these are integrated into a single working unit by a software known as the system software. Also known as the operating system, this software brings the entire computer system alive. It has the instructions about what proportions of the resources installed on the central processing unit will be allocated to which input or output component of the computer system. In fact, when a computer is switched on, the operating system is the first software to be loaded on RAM so that the CPU can read and execute the instructions given by it. Words. An operating system kicks in first and enables the entire infrastructure of a computer system for other software and hardware to use and work with each other. An operating system is like the infrastructure setup of a house. Here the house is the software, that is the operating system, which has its electric and water supply in various rooms. The multiple rooms of a house are similar to the multiple programs an operating system is made up of. As the house has rooms like the kitchen, the bathroom, storeroom, etc., that handle various operations or functions of a house, so does the multiple programs which make the operating system do for a computer. The electric wiring and water supply fittings in various rooms of the house decide how much current or water will be supplied to which room, depending on the function the room handles. Like the water supply has to be more to the bathroom than the storeroom. Similarly, the operating system decides which resources will be allocated to which program located within it. These programs are, on the other hand, connected to the hardware components of the computer and coordinate with them accordingly. Some examples of the operating system would be Microsoft Windows, Linux, and the Mac operating system, and many more. In order to understand what all the operating system does on a computer, just open the Settings tab of that computer. Each one of the options provided under all the listed functions available there are the functions of the operating system. And on modern computers, these can run into hundreds. Now let us check some of the options which the operating system provides to the computer. If we go to the basic network and internet tab, you can see that the ability to connect to internet is provided by the operating system to the computer. Very important is the security part. If we go to Windows Security, you can see that the operating system provides virus and threat protection to the computer, account protection, firewall and network protection, among other options related to the security of the computer. Now, we see that a lot of devices are connected to the computer or can be connected to the computer. And this happens via the operating system. The operating system generally connects to the device, any of the device, external device, via a bridge known as a driver. And driver is nothing but a piece of software. So if you go to the device manager section of the settings, we'll see all the devices which were connected or can be connected to the computer. Now, if we just click on one like the camera, integrated cam, you can see among all the options, there is one driver option. And here is where you can see the information related to the driver, which connects the camera to this computer via the operating system. Very important. The operating system is also responsible for the save function of any file. Like if you are saving any of the files on the computer, it is the operating system that clicks in. And similarly, the delete option, when you delete a file, is also a function of the operating system. Again, the operating system is responsible for starting as well as shutting down the computer. Operating system is not under the control or command of the user, or the user cannot interfere in its working in any way. Now let us try to understand the application software. After the operating system activates and takes care of the general tasks of the computer system, the specific tasks you want to actually use the computer for would require task-specific software. These tasks may include managing and processing data, creating graphics and videos, running a website like a Wordpress website, watching films and other media content, or shop online. There are function-specific software available for each of these functions. Let us now understand the place of these software in the computer system. Let us go back to the example of the house as discussed earlier, the infrastructure of which was compared to the operating system. Each room of such a house would have its function-specific appliances to be used within it. Like the bathroom will have a washing machine for washing the clothes, whereas the kitchen would have a cooking stove in it for the cooking purpose. So does the various program sections of the operating system have function or task-specific software placed within them. As the washing machine and the cooking stove help the user perform the specific tasks of washing laundry and cooking food, so does the Microsoft Excel and YouTube application software help the user to perform the specific functions of processing data and watching media content online. So, application software performs a specific task or a function. The desktop screen of your computer or the home screen of your smartphone display a pictographic relation between the operating system and the application software. The icons spread across the screen are the application software, and the space in between them is the operating system or created by the operating system. An application software cannot run without an operating system. It is installed in one of the sections of the operating system itself. An application software is like one of the other components of the computer which are handled by the operating system. An application software is more popularly known as an app. The space an application software takes on the hard disk is much more than an operating system, thus is bigger in size. An application software is written in higher level language. Now let us try to understand what is an open source software. When a developer or a programmer writes code for creating an application software or an operating system, he writes it into a human-readable software coding language. The entire code of such a software is known as the source code of that software. When this source code is converted into machine language, it becomes an executable program as explained in the last lesson. Generally, once the source code for a particular software is developed, it cannot be changed or modified by anyone other than the developer himself. Such a software is known as closed source software. Closed source software needs to be purchased by the user by paying a license or subscription fee to the original developer. But if a software which is developed by a developer and is allowed to be modified and developed further by others for free, such a software is known as an open source software. Anyone with the knowledge of programming or coding can make changes to an open source software either by taking a license in some cases or without any permission or license from the developer in most of the cases. Open source software is generally developed and maintained by a community of programmers who work in collaboration with each other. It comes free for all as the user does not have to incur any cost for using an open source software. Moreover, the user can make the changes like deleting and adding more features to it and distribute it further to other users. Linux and WordPress are the perfect examples of an open source software.